Welcome to the Catalant core platform. To get started, I wanted to note that over 50% of organizations fail to execute on their strategies. Oftentimes, after company leadership presents organizational goals, there typically isn't a clear understanding as to how those goals actually cascade across the rest of the organization. So, how do you create a framework to ensure execution happens successfully? That's where Catalant comes in. Catalan is set up to help you create a framework that facilitates business agility and enables your organization to focus on the outcomes that need to be achieved. The side navigation panel is designed to help guide you through that process. From setting up your strategy, breaking it into more executable work streams, and helping you identify the right people for the right work. Before getting started, I'd like to highlight a few differentiators that make Catalant particularly valuable. Unlike other tools, Catalan is purpose-built for business users. It is specifically designed to be intuitive and user-friendly, so it's easy for any user to get started and quickly realize value. Other tools lack the ability to fully understand and engage your workforce. Catalant is designed to enable you to make key business decisions and adapt quickly by helping you identify and assign resources to important work that would otherwise be an extremely time-consuming and sometimes nearly impossible process. Lastly, Catalant provides a unique structure allowing company targets and work streams to tie to the highest level goals and strategies, bubbling the information up into dynamic dashboards that can replace the time-consuming leadership alignment meetings and allow the organization to focus on actually getting the work done. I plan to bring this to life over the course of this demo by painting a picture of how a user like Ellen, the head of innovation at Acme Corp, will use Catalant to gain insight into the status of her portfolio, identify any items that are holding the portfolio back, and take immediate action to remediate them, all within a matter of minutes. So imagine you're Ellen, and on Monday morning, you want to start your week by making sure that your innovation portfolio, which is key to your company's future success competing in an industry hyper-focused on artificial intelligence and machine learning initiatives, is on track and operating soundly. Ellen opens up the status summary, which serves as her mission control center, where she can see in real time what the health and status of her portfolio of work is, which work may need intervention, and where goals may be at risk of falling short. Right off the bat, Ellen can immediately answer questions like, is this portfolio on or off track? Is anything in need of a status update? Or what's trending overdue? Getting a handle on these questions will allow Ellen to report back to her senior management or leadership team and can lead to a discussion that is proactive for at-risk issues rather than reactive to off-track issues. Within this status summary page, Ellen can also hover over these strategies to see progress towards strategic goals. As you can see, we've established some high-level goals for our AI innovation portfolio, such as testing out 3 machine learning hypotheses to encourage a fast-fail culture. We set up some other goals, including using algorithms to increase sales. With a couple of clicks, we can drill into the goals that live within each workstream to check on the status in more detail, edit, and provide updates. These strategic goals can be used to guide planning processes and drive discussions to ensure you're keeping them on track, further invest in them, and putting the appropriate people on them as needed. We can also see how this strategy cascades into different portfolios of work. To further create an outcome-driven culture, we've set up specific goals on individual epics, such as using algorithms to predict customer behavior. These goals or metrics help to break down your strategy across the organization to progress towards the execution that will deliver results. The dynamic nature of the status summary screen and other dashboards alike allows you to optimize planning processes and status meetings, which are often done with static PowerPoint presentations, in order to drive efficient discussions and make outcome-driven decisions quickly. Looking at the organization's entire portfolio can get a bit overwhelming. So Ellen may decide to filter by her personal work in order to get the information specifically relevant to her. Immediately, Ellen notices that her main innovation initiative is at risk. The status actually indicates that one of the sub-work streams beneath the strategy is off track. By following the work streams that lie beneath this strategy, Ellen can quickly identify the culprit, or the off-track project which is holding down the portfolio most. In this case, it's a story that lies beneath the larger epic, predict customer website interaction. We can also see exactly who the project owner is, in this case Lexi, and we could drill into the project workspace right from this view in order to see why the story is off track. The ability to drill into work streams in this detail from this high-level strategic dashboard makes it seamless for leaders like Ellen to identify the reason and the source of accountability behind off-track work. This type of visibility simply isn't possible without a tool like Catalant. At this point, we'll dive into the timeline view to get a deeper understanding of how work can be structured within Catalant, and at the same time, use it to figure out how to get this piece of work back on track. The timeline view helps leaders like Ellen build and manage the portfolio roadmap and how it cascades into different work streams over time, all in one single view. Building the roadmap from this view is simple. By clicking the ellipses next to one of these strategies, you can select Add New Work to start building the work streams that lie beneath, such as the initiatives, sub-initiatives, projects, or epics and stories as we saw on the status summary screen. Ellen also has a key available to her at the top of this screen, providing an easy preview into what types of work she can create beneath her strategy. These work types are flexible and allow leaders like Ellen to accommodate an agile work structure and operating system, nest different types of work, collaborate cross-functionally, and ultimately drive alignment across work streams. As Ellen expands this innovation strategy, the roadmap begins to come to life. Let's follow this at-risk path down to the story we identified as off-track. When we expand the off-track story one step further, we can see the key milestones that have been mapped across the story's timeline, 2 of which are overdue, causing the story to fall off track. Within just a few minutes, Ellen now has insight into the reason her innovation strategy is trending at risk, because of the overdue milestones on one of the connected user stories. Naturally, the next question she wants to answer is, why are these milestones overdue? Ellen can now drill into the project to chat with Lexi, the project owner, and figure out what's going on. Clicking into the project workspace, we can see the overdue milestones, or in this case, algo checkpoints. If we click into messages, Ellen can now reach out to Lexi to ask why these milestones are overdue. We can see a conversation exists already between Ellen and Lexi, who has explained that the milestones are overdue because her team is in need of assistance from a data scientist. At this point, let's imagine we're now switching personas to Lexi, the project owner, who needs to get an understanding of what data scientists are available to assist in getting these milestones completed for this story. So we've now determined that in order to complete the overdue milestones and get the innovation strategy back on track, we need to staff a data scientist to our run math algos on users story. We can do this best with the staffing view, which we'll go to next. The staffing view gives us a top-down glimpse into how our strategy is being staffed and executed against, as well as a bottom-up view into how resources are being utilized in aggregate based on their capacities in the past, in the present, as well as on future engagements. Lexi can now expand the innovation strategy to locate the run math algo on users story that's off track. Notice that when doing so, we're now viewing the resources that are executing against this story and their respective capacities rather than the story's milestones, which we saw in the work timeline view. So we know we're in urgent need of a data scientist, but do we actually have any data scientists available to help? We can quickly answer that question by using the capacity planning view below, specifically by filtering by the data scientist role. Here we can see there are 4 data scientists, along with each user's availability based on their engagements. Though they all seem to have capacity for an additional 25% engagement, it does appear that Caroline Burgess is the most available. Now Lexi needs to actually staff one of these data scientists to the role in question. which we can do from the timeline view. In the timeline view, Lexi can use the Jump To filter to quickly hone in on the work in question. She can then staff it quickly by clicking on the ellipses next to the open data scientist position and selecting Browse Resources. Using the project and role criteria, including skills, a rank-ordered list of candidates for the data scientist position is returned within seconds. Engaging your workforce has never been simpler. Without this visibility and ease of matching resources to work, hours would have been wasted locating and assigning the right talent for your important project need. Right off the bat, we can see the top recommendation is Caroline Burgess. And we can get a quick preview into her profile by clicking onto her card, which explains why she's a great match, and also gives details about her skills, experience, and other information, much like a LinkedIn profile. Lexi has successfully found someone to fill the data scientist role and to get her story, and ultimately the innovation portfolio, back on track. But what would we do in the event that no one was available or had the right skill set to help us? This can be solved with the Catalant Expert Marketplace. If no one is available or capable of the position we need, we can perform the same search against Catalant's network of over 70,000 independent experts and boutique consulting firms using the same simple interface. All we would do is click on the filters and specify that we need to leverage the Expert Marketplace. Catalant not only expedites the process for matching your workforce to important project work internally, but also provides the only solution on the market that allows you to, within the same system, staff independent consultants from outside your organization to fulfill resource gaps and gain industry expertise not only more efficiently, but also at a lower cost and higher quality. We can also create additional internal talent pools, such as internal consulting, diversity and inclusion, and other groups in order to allow you to further specify the type of talent you need at any given time. In this case, Lexi can go ahead and staff Caroline by simply dragging her card to the open data scientist position. After selecting Assign and Start Work, we'll need to just verify the details of the position, after which we'll see Caroline is successfully staffed to the story. Let's fast forward a couple of weeks now and imagine that Caroline was able to provide the help that Lexi's team needed to mark these overdue milestones complete. Lexi or Caroline can mark those complete by clicking into the project workspace that we visited earlier. In order to mark a milestone complete, she can simply click on the check mark, where she'll be prompted to enter any data around how much time it took to mark those milestones complete. After completing these milestones, we'll see that the project now becomes back on track. Now let's log back into the status summary view where we started. If we filter to Ellen's work as we did in the beginning, we can see now that her innovation strategy is back on track. Because of Catalant's ability to provide visibility into the entire portfolio, Ellen was able to quickly diagnose the off-track work that was holding up her strategy, determine the team that was accountable, and remediate the off-track work by getting the right resources involved, all within this one cohesive digital tool. And in this one single platform, Catalant's ability to drive strategic and goal-oriented alignment across the workforce, eliminate resource gaps through internal and external expertise, and dynamically report portfolio updates to the highest stakeholders will significantly improve the speed at which strategy is executed across your organization.